What if you could learn anything, anytime, anywhere, without ever stepping into a physical classroom? Welcome to the world of online learning, where education has gone digital and the possibilities are endless. No more rigid school schedules, no more boring textbooks, just you, your device, and the freedom to learn on your own terms. Online learning is the future of education. As the world gets increasingly connected and with greater advancements in technology, many people have believed and claimed that online learning is the future because of the various benefits it brings. However, is that really true? To unpack this further, we need to first understand what is online learning. The first way to view online learning is through the lens of educational technology. For example, to study at home using computers and courses provided on the internet. This means learning from a variety of information and communication technology tools, or ICT for short. This could include using electronic media like videos or remote resources like learning management systems. The second way to view online learning is to understand it as a new way of learning or as an improvement in the educational paradigm. That would be to see online learning as a natural evolution of distance education, where learning can continue even without the physical presence of a classroom or a teacher. Now that the definitions of online learning are clearer, let's explore. Why did online learning gain so much popularity? For a start, organizations like the World Economic Forum have championed online learning as part of the Education 4.0 model, an initiative that aligns education with the emerging needs of a technology-driven world. In Singapore's context, the Ministry of Education has also stipulated mandatory home-based learning days to leverage on the existing technology to facilitate learning on the internet. If online learning is the future of education, what are its benefits? Firstly, many believe that online learning promotes independent and self-directed learning among students. Secondly, some people propose that online learning is the new generation of distance learning that fully utilizes the use of educational technology. These assumptions are, however, problematic. Let us first look at an example of synchronous learning. Synchronous learning can be defined as online learning in real time. This includes using live webinars, video conferencing, or virtual classrooms. In this example, the teacher has enthusiastically created a virtual classroom and prepared an online lecture for his students. However, he realizes that some of his students did not turn up for the online class. Those who turned up were distracted and switched off their cameras and mics. They were also not responsive when the teacher asked for their participation. The teacher feels powerless as he is unable to physically discipline or monitor the progress of his students. The second example is on asynchronous learning. Asynchronous learning can be defined as online learning that run on a more relaxed schedule, with students accessing class materials during different hours and from different locations. In this example, the teacher posted an online assignment that is to be completed by the end of the day. While most students submitted their work punctually, some students did not. Some students also submitted very superficial work and did not put in much effort. The teacher is unable to immediately help those who are struggling and is unable to supervise those who did not complete the task. What can we see from these scenarios? There are two questions that potentially arise. One of the premises that makes online learning work is how it facilitates self-directed and independent learning. However, that is an assumption because not every student or learner is inherently motivated or willing to engage in online lessons or assignments. Furthermore, It can be difficult to facilitate social interactions between students and with the teacher in a virtual classroom environment. This may hinder collaborative learning as students grow accustomed to being more introverted and might even become more disengaged in the long term. Another argument for online learning is that it promotes individualized and self-paced learning. However, can learning always take place organically without the guidance and direction of a teacher? Particularly for asynchronous online learning, the teacher's presence and role is arguably diminished compared to a traditional classroom setting. In a physical classroom, the teacher is better able to supervise and interact with his or her students and to ensure their concentration and focus. Because of this, it is possible that online learning may even impede learning. Ultimately, learning is a complex and contested domain. There are many dimensions to learning, which includes the learning environment, interpersonal peer relations, and the role of the teacher. Despite the advantages of online learning, there is still a place for the traditional classroom setting. Because of its potential problems and assumptions, it is not wise to be solely dependent on online learning. For online learning to be effective, it needs to consider the diversity of the learner's needs and their immediate environment. Not everyone has the same access to technology, and not everyone is motivated to learn online. To conclude, online learning underplays the importance of the teacher and learning environment, which are both necessary for effective learning to take place. Thus, online learning cannot be said to be the future of education because on its own, it can potentially create more harm than good. Is that the future we want?